I was bullied in school when I was in like 5th grade. I was really, really ugly. I had no eyebrows and no eyelashes, and I was just really ugly. And no one wanted to be my friend, and like honestly respect, because yeah, I look at those pictures and I'm embarrassed.
I'm dead.
Still, and I'm 22.
I honestly feel like the people that get bullied are the most successful.
The most successful, the most fun, like the best personalities. It's formative, but it's not gonna matter.
Because in that moment, you think it's like end all be all.
Like in-person bullying. Do you feel like that affected you the same way, like the internet bullying?
I just moved to LA when I was like 15, 16. It was such a culture shock. People look different priorities. I was like gaining weight and people were commenting about that. And then I'm also in LA and surrounded by that, like being perfect. You have to sort of separate the two. You just kind of have to protect yourself at some point.
Loren, welcome to The Squeeze.
Thank you.
This is so fun because I feel like I've actually like watched you on the internet for so long.
Who hasn't?
Like, no, really though.
Yeah.
Really. So this is fun. Like it's
That also makes me a little nervous because I feel like I'm never actually thinking about who's watching me on the internet.
Right.
Like,
I mean it in a good way.
Yeah. No, yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Still, I'm like, oh, you're watching?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think you have a couple people watching you. You know, one or two.
It's a little spooky. It's scary when you think about it.
Yeah.
Just a few. When I was doing my like prep for this episode, I figured out that you both have something in common. You've both been in Taylor Swift music videos.
Oh yes, like the best thing to have in common.
Yeah.
Literally.
That'll be the highlight of our careers for the rest of time.
Forever.
Oh my gosh. That's so fun.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
You were in the man.
The man, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Okay, so we start each episode off with this jar called, and the game is called Citrus Got Real. If you want to pull a little piece of paper out of there.
Cute.
And answer the question.
Okay. Let's see.
You really make that noise quite often.
You know, once you hit your 30s, you start saying, ugh, a little more.
I just did like ASMR the other day for something for the movie, and they were like, you did so good. I've never done like ASMR.
I actually like hearing your voice
You
in
have
these
a voice for
headphones.
it.
I
Really?
feel like that
Yeah.
would be really nice.
Oh, yay, thank you. It would suck if you were like, gosh, shut up.
Yeah.
If you could choose your own name, what would it be?
Oh.
That's a good one.
Interesting.
Okay. Do we all answer? Because I
Yeah.
kind of want to know what your answers are too.
Yeah. Do you know?
Honestly, no, because like my name is a family name, so I
Okay.
feel bad being like, yeah, that's great, but
Right.
I would love to be
I
called
would've
like
gone
Ashley,
with-
you know? I don't know, because my first name is my grandfather's middle name, but just like rearranged a little bit, and then my middle name, which is Gray, is my great grandmother's first name, and then my last name is Beach.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Wait, so okay. Your grandfather's name was Loren?
his middle name was
Middle name.
Loren with Lorne. Yeah.
Got it.
So they just rearranged it a little bit to make it my name.
Because my grandfather's name is Loren, spelt your
Really?
way.
Yeah, I think my spelling is like I've heard it's like the masculine spelling of the
Yeah.
name. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I guess it was. It's never on a keychain, I'll tell you that. So
Yeah.
That's funny.
You miss out on
Ever.
those. Yeah.
That's funny. I know. I love that spelling. I don't know what do I look like something?
We've played this game before.
I know. That's what I was trying to remember.
I don't know. I don't have anything like I love my name and I wouldn't change it. But when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I literally asked my parents all the time, can you change my name to Max? I just loved the name Max. I thought it was so cool.
that's such like a kid boy thing to be
I was like
wanna be
5,
Max.
6. Yeah, Max just sounded fun.
Wait, that's a fun fact. I didn't know that.
There was
Yeah.
a girl in my grade named Skylar, and I used to love her name so like I loved it. She was so mean to me, but I loved her name. Like loved her name.
So mean, but great name.
I feel like you could be a Skylar.
For sure.
You think?
It gives
Yeah.
like blonde, blue eye, pretty girl.
I feel like all of those like they kind of have like a oomph to them, like Skylar,
Yeah.
Ashley, Brittany. It's always like, you know, that's like the vibe.
Oh my gosh.
But you could do like I feel like anything that ended in like an A also.
Ooh, okay.
Like those like sort of long A names where you're
Right.
always like, as a Loren, I always really admired girls with really like feminine, pretty names. Like there's this one girl and her name is Delilah Bell on Instagram, and I'm like, Delilah Bell.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's cute.
cute.
Yeah, I'm like, it's
That's
like
cute.
I can, you know, like you can put little bows in your hair and be like cute. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lauren, yeah, not the same effect.
Okay, great. I'll go with that. Anything with an A.
Okay.
I love that for me. Okay. Like I said, I've been watching you on the internet for a really long time. And I think what I learned is that you, correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't actually know you were like posting.
No, yeah, no.
What?
So I was uploading to before TikTok was TikTok. It was Musically. And it was like
you were right about that.
It's like
I
a
was gonna
German company,
ask.
and it was sold to TikTok. It was sold to China, became TikTok.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I
like,
remember Musically, but I wasn't sure if it was the old TikTok.
Yeah,
It
so
was.
it was, but obviously it's changed a lot. But I
Yeah.
was uploading videos. You know how before you upload, you can like save them to your camera
Yeah.
roll and then you press post. So I was saving them to my camera roll, but I was also uploading them. And I was in middle school. I like in the beginning of middle school. So I didn't know the concept of like, or understand the concept of like people. There were no influencers really. It was like
Yeah.
YouTubers maybe.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that I was uploading things publicly. I didn't know it was a platform. I thought I was just making videos that I could post on like Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
And then on my Instagram started getting all of these like follower requests from people I did not know. And then once I figured it out, I had like 30,000 followers on Musically.
Musical.ly?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How long did that like take for you to figure out?
Not super long. All of it happened kind of in one. It was my summer, I want to say the summer of 7th grade.
Okay.
So it all happened sort of in that summer, probably like a couple weeks, but things were happening like pretty quickly, all things considered. Not the same way that things happen quickly for people now, but like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Were you like once your followers started growing, were you excited about that? Were you nervous? Were you just like, I don't know what's going on?
And like, were you in school at that point?
I was mixed feelings. I was in school and I definitely I was bullied in school before any of the social media stuff. When I was in
Okay.
like 5th grade, I was really, really ugly. I had no eyebrows and no eyelashes and I was just really ugly and no one wanted to be my friend, and like honestly respect, because yeah, I look at those pictures and I'm embarrassed
I'm dead.
still, and I'm 22. My teeth were going all which ways and like you
I
couldn't tell
need
what
to
it
see
I
a
relate to
photo.
that one. I had really bad teeth when I was a kid.
like literally the second my teeth grew, my mom was like, braces, you know, right
Yeah.
now. Which thank you so much. Like if that hadn't happened, I'd probably still be struggling. But I ended up leaving school because of that, and I was gone for probably like a year, and then I would finish my schoolwork super early. And I had nothing to do, so I would just watch makeup tutorials and hair tutorials and all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then I became a full glam baddie, and I loved doing my makeup. And I was like, I'm ready. I'm going back.
Yeah.
And I went back, and then the whole social media thing happened, and then it was like, now it was a different reason
Right.
that people
Yeah.
didn't like me.
Right.
So I couldn't really win in that situation, but
Yeah.
I was only in school for like a year and a half, and then I ended up leaving again. The day that I left was so dramatic. There was this girl, I was in the hallway and I was like getting my stuff because I was leaving, and my Spanish teacher hated me. It was only like 2 weeks into school before I was like, okay, I'm out of here.
You're getting bullied by your teachers too?
Oh, yes. Like, yes. It's like a smaller town.
Yeah.
But there were definitely teachers that did not like me. There's a few that did, but a select few. But the one teacher, I'm like, where the fuck was I going with this? Okay, girl. The one teacher was the Spanish teacher, hated me, and I left her class. I left like halfway through. I was like, I'm not doing this. And I was getting my stuff ready, and I like texted my mom. I was like, I gotta go. Like today is the day. And I was in the hallway, and this girl that had actually been making fun of me since like 4th grade said something in the hallway, and I just had a whole meltdown with just her and I in the hallway. And I was like, you don't know what it's like. Whole thing. Left school, never went back, turned in my cheer uniform. I was like,
Turned in my cheer uniform.
I was like, I'm done here. And then I was homeschooled. Yeah. But it was tough.
Have you like seen any of these people?
Yes.
I was gonna ask.
Oh, yes. So recently, last Halloween, I have 3 nephews, and we were taking one of my nephews trick-or-treating. He's like 4. And I was Peach. He was Toad. My other friend was Mario.
Cute.
We looked very cute. It was slaying. And we were going trick-or-treating in the neighborhood where a lot of kids that I went to school with used to live. And I mean, I'm 22. I don't fully expect people that I like went to school with to still live in the same neighborhood, but alas, they do.
They do, yeah.
And I went up to this one girl's house, and it sort of registered as I was going up. I was like, oh, because my mom had gone there before and asked her parents to like tell her to leave me alone. It was like that bad.
Got it.
Anyway, I like took my nephew up, and I was like kind of looking down, and they gave him the candy, whatever, and then they offered me a drink, and I was like, sure, I'll take it. And I looked up, and it was her and her parents, and it looked like she saw a ghost.
Oh, I bet.
And I was like, oh, hey, girl. And she was like, and I was walking away, and she said to her parents, do you know who that was? And I was like, ugh.
And that's when you go.
And you know
away.
what? It was like retribution for how terrible I felt. Like as a 12, 13-year-old, they made me feel so bad. And that just felt really good.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no like, I wasn't like, girl,
Right.
there was
Yeah.
none of that. But it just felt good that they were like, she
Yeah.
was a little shook.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I always like want to tell like the younger generation that's getting bullied. Like I honestly feel like the people that get bullied like are the most successful.
The
And,
most
like,
successful, the most fun,
Yeah.
like the best personalities.
Yeah. Because I was bullied too.
It builds character. It does.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely does. But I've had very similar experiences going back to like my like hometown after like being with Taylor. And that was a very big,
she wants to, when would is that coming up?
it's next year.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's a reunion.
My high school reunion.
You're going?
You see, I want to go.
Insane.
I want to bring Taylor.
You kind of have
Also
to. You kind
insane.
of have
That's
to.
what my friends say. Taylor's like, I'm not going. I'm like,
Never.
I will just ask you this one favor.
Oh gosh.
So I can just show the
Nothing
people that
sounds
made fun of
worse.
me in high school and weren't nice to me.
Yeah.
Where
no,
I'm at today.
I hear you. Yeah. But if I was talking to like somebody who's young and going through bullying, but it's so hard to like really process
Yeah.
at that age. But like bullying comes from insecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, so you just gotta like tell yourself that. But
Yeah, it's the
hard
same
to-
thing as like when I always think about this, I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back to school now with the brain that I have
Yeah.
and like the things that I know.
Yeah.
And I just know it would be such a different experience. And I was doing a podcast recently, and this girl, she was like 16, and she was there with her aunt, and she was talking about being bullied. And I was like, girl, come on, like none of it's gonna matter. And that's the thing is like none of it. It's formative, but it doesn't. It's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
So I wish I could go back with the brain I have now. And I'm sure 10 years from now, I'm gonna be like, oh, I wish I could go back to with the brain I have now. And it's
Yeah.
just that's how it always is gonna be.
yeah. Because in that moment you think it's like the end all be all.
Yeah, like world crushing, life altering, but it builds character for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I'm sure like switching from like actual like in-person bullying, and then I'm sure that just like carried out on the internet for you.
Yeah.
Which how do you feel like that affected you the same way, like the internet bullying, or do you feel like it was different?
I mean, it was kind of the same. It was kind of the same stuff. Especially because I started when I was 13. So once I hit I just moved to LA when I was like 15, 16. And it was such a culture shock coming here from Pennsylvania because, it's very different. People look different. People have different priorities. And I was already sort of getting used to that life. And then there's I was also like growing and changing. And so I was like gaining weight and people were commenting about that. And then I'm also in LA and surrounded by that like culture of being perfect.
Yeah.
So that I think was the biggest adjustment with online comments and also where I was at and like my environment at that time was just, there was a lot of culture shocks happening one after the other and things to get used to. But yeah, I think it's just, again, it built character for sure.
Yeah. What made you move out here?
So at the time I was homeschooled and I kept getting opportunities in LA and my mom was traveling with me a ton. And it got to the point where I was coming out here so much. My mom was like, well, why don't we just look at apartments? And the first one we looked at, I was like, I got to do it. And then my mom moved out here with me and my dad stayed back at home working. And my mom lived with me for like 3 years out here before she sent me off on my way.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, they took a lot of big leaps, my family did, for me to be here. So
Yeah. Can definitely relate there.
Yeah. Tell her about your fam. I don't know. It's cute.
Okay. I had a similar experience.
It's cute. It's so sweet when like a parent like believes in their kid. Like the fact that your mom literally came out here, like left her home, her husband.
No, it's crazy.
Like,
My parents did the same thing. I still like don't understand why they did. And I'm like, honestly, I'm like, you were crazy. But thankfully you did. But yeah, I started acting from Michigan. And for 2-3 years, we would fly out here for auditions and stuff. And it was just like crazy. And eventually my parents were like, if you want to keep doing this, we can't keep doing it from Michigan. We would have to go out there. And same thing. I was like, I had friends and stuff. I was 11, 12. So I was like, I don't know, like, can we just try it and see how it goes? So we looked at apartments and I think they told me it was for like a 6-month lease, but I think they were lying to me.
oh, that's funny.
I think they just knew that I would like it once you just get through the beginning of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we never went back. But I know, I'm like, the support from parents is unbelievable.
And I guess like you don't really, because I can't fathom, but I've also never had children, so I don't know what that feeling is like. And I'm sure, my parents don't come from the entertainment industry. Yeah. My dad's a biologist. My mom, I think at the time she was working in a bank. She's done so many things. She's been a hairdresser. She's done everything. Mm-hmm. But everything happened so fast, and they had to learn as I was learning, and they just trusted me and trusted that and I had this conversation with my dad actually a couple weeks ago when I was visiting home. I was like, thank God you did let me come out, because I would have been so miserable and I would have been so sad and would have never. And he was like, no, you would have had a great life. You would have went to school and you would have been happy, but this is what you chose. So this is what you did. Yeah. And it was hard for my dad. I mean, I was gone all of the time. He probably only saw me a couple times a year between the ages of 14 and until I recently got a place there when 20. Wow. Now I've been there more often, but I can't imagine and we're so close. I can't imagine what that must have felt like. But yeah, and the sacrifice, there's so many things. And also just how do you parent, when someone's just going, and that's another thing I applaud them for. I sing their praises all the time because, every family has their things, but the sacrifices they've made for me are out of this world.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Yeah. I love that. Okay, Lemon Drops. Did you know that women were excluded from clinical research policy by federal law until 1993? That is actually crazy because women belong in scientific research. They're essential. And Ritual knows that. They conducted a university-led human clinical trial for their essentials for women 18 and older multivitamin to assess its efficacy. And the results were kind of crazy. It increased vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks. Having a multivitamin that is for women is so important. And that's why I trust Ritual for my multivitamin, because they've done the research and they truly know what us women need for our bodies. Their Essential for Women 18 and Older is so easy to implement into your routine. I take mine every morning. It has 9 key nutrients in 2 delayed release capsules per day that optimize your body's absorption. Something else that I love about their multivitamin is they are vegan, non-GMO, gluten and major allergen free, certified B Corp, and made traceable. So not only is it a good vitamin, but it's just made right. They really just do a good job with their products, specifically this Essentials for Women 18 and older. I love it. I've been taking it for quite some time now. And if you guys are looking for a good multivitamin, you need to check this out because no more shady business. We're done with it. Ritual's Essential for Women 18 and older is a multivitamin that you truly can trust. Get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/thesqueeze. You can start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 and older to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/thesqueeze for 25% off. Okay, question for you. What if a shoe could infinitely enhance your day? I know it's a big question, but truly, what if a shoe could enhance your day? Well, introducing to you the Vionic Walk Max sneaker for both him and her. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it is so hard to find that perfect shoe that is both cute and comfortable and just, perfect for every day on the go. And that's why I have been loving these Vionic sneakers. I have them in white. They're just cute and they're truly perfect for everything. I wear mine whether I'm walking the dogs, running errands, going for a workout. It's nice to just have a universal shoe you don't have to think about. And I also love it because they are water repellent, which is great because you don't have to worry about your little sockies getting wet. But something else that I love to do, I love online shopping, but I love a website that it just is easy. It's easy to scroll. It's easy to add to cart. It's easy to check out. And when websites aren't like that, it's a turnoff for me, man. But that's why I love shopping on Vionic's website because the experience is just great. It's all around great. The website's great. The shoes are great. You really can't miss. So go check it out. You can use code SQUEEZE at checkout for 15% off your entire order at www.vionicshoes.com. When you log into your account, this is a one-time use only. It is www.vionicshoes.com. So obviously, you move here, you're in those formative years of being a teenager, figuring out who you were. Was that hard for you to kind of figure out who is Loren with having a social media presence, but also trying to figure out who you are and being in this LA paced kind of style of life?
Luckily, I feel like I may have had a different experience had I started everything and started pursuing the entertainment industry at all later.
Yeah.
I think that would have been more difficult, but I started when I was 13. I was already I didn't have a real sense of self yet.
Yeah.
So by the time it got to where I was, making friends and learning who I was and figuring all of those things out, which I still am, this was already a part of my life. You were already in it. So it wasn't changing me. It wasn't making me a different person. It was just I was dabbling in different things and new things, and I got into exercising and all those things, and singing and things that I'd always loved to do, but I was just in a new environment doing them and with new friends and people who understood what I was going through.
Yeah.
But I think I'm very fortunate in the fact that this has always sort of been a part of my life that I can remember.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really had an effect on it didn't happen overnight. So it didn't blow my mind. So I'm like, oh my gosh, who am I now?
Yeah.
It was just sort of, it happened as it happened, which I think was a good thing.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's been, or I guess maybe not now, but then was it hard for you to make friends or have relationship with trusting that people actually wanted to be your friend, not just for the things?
Absolutely. I started out with a lot of friends, and then over time we sort of narrow it down to 2 people.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, I feel because I used to be friends with a lot of kids who were doing the same thing as me, and that wasn't always helpful. It was kind of weirdly competitive. Yeah. And so now that I'm older, I'm friends with people that are in different fields. Like my best friends, they work very normal jobs, and my other friends are like DJs. So there's like people are doing different things, which is nice because there's like, you know, you can help each other in different ways, but there's no competition. I had so many weird experiences with people taking advantage of me in such strange ways. I had this girl one time come to my house when I was like 16. I was trying to make girlfriends. And I met her at a birthday party. I invited her to my house. Moral of the story is she was filming everything I was doing. I was putting on my shoes, she's filming me. I'm like brushing my hair, she's filming me. And it got to the point where I was getting annoyed, but I was like, whatever. And then we went to get our nails done, and I had a Pinterest board of all of my nail stuff, and we got to the place, and she was like, oh, can I look at your Pinterest board? And I was like, sure. I gave her my phone. I get a call from my boyfriend and my mom, and they're like, did you post that? And I'm like, what? She shouted herself out on all of my social medias, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on Instagram. She was like, hey, angels, follow da-da-da. And I left her at the nail salon because I was like,
good.
I was like, I can't pretend to like you right now. I can't be around you because like, how insane do you have to be to do that? And
oh my gosh,
that I had experiences like that. So I had another girl that I let her borrow my phone because she broke hers. So I was like, you can use my old one until you get yours fixed. And she leaked all of my photos from my phone, like crazy stuff like that of people that I thought were my friends, and then they very much were not.
Jeez.
Yeah. And there was like nothing crazy, but like it's
just an invasion of privacy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Back to the nail salon girl. Like, I'm just like, what, when she played that out in her brain before she did
clearly
it,
she didn't.
How did she think that was going to go over?
Like eventually I'm going to see it.
Right, you're going to see it at some point. So how's that going to go? She thought that was going to be a positive experience?
Well, I didn't even mention it to her either. I was just like, ooh, emergency, gotta go.
Yeah.
And like, I hope you make it home okay. But
is that the end of friendship?
I actually have seen her a couple of times since then, and I'm sure she's like matured and I'm a bit more normal now. I don't really know. I've had very brief conversations, but that is always in the back of my mind because I'm like, girl, you're crazy. Like, that is crazy to do. That is crazy.
I literally cannot even. I cannot. The fact that your boyfriend and mom were like,
Yeah, my boyfriend called me and he was like, did you post that? I'm like, post what? He was like, on your story. I'm like, what's on my story? And that is my biggest fear. My biggest fear, if I see a phone call, I answer it every time. Because if someone calls me before they text me, I always assume it's something serious.
Yeah.
Which it never is.
Right.
But I'm afraid, like,
yeah.
Have you seen the memes that are like me checking my story at night, making sure I didn't post a picture of myself naked with my address as the caption? Like, that is my biggest fear.
Yeah. I question that every time. You're like aloof to that. Not the you don't.
What are you
I'm
going to
say? You're aloof to posting if things are in the background or a reflection or a phone number.
Yeah.
He's aloof to that, and I've caught him multiple times.
Yeah.
Luckily, there has been no nudity yet.
No.
But there has been the addresses and things before. I'm like,
yeah,
dude,
I don't worry about that. I'm a fairly clothed person, so that doesn't really cross my mind as much. But like, I have posted my address so many times in the car, on the GPS, whatever.
Yeah.
You touched on this earlier, but it was something I was curious about because I'm just like, you started on the internet at such a young age, and you have a following that I can't even imagine. Is comparison something that you have, had to deal with going through that journey? Because I know, for me, like, comparison has been tough. Like, body image has been tough. I just was curious, what that journey has looked like for you and where you're at now with it.
I think there's positives and negatives. I think on a positive side, my audience has evolved with me quite a bit. So like when I was 16, 17, it was teenage girls that were coming up to me, teenage girls that were watching my stuff. Now, I mean, there's still that, but a lot of my audience is college age. They're the people they're like the waitresses, and they're like checking me out now at the store. So I feel like they sort of understand the evolution that your personality sort of goes through. And when it comes to body image, that was especially a struggle for me between like 16, 18. I feel like now that I'm a little older and I've made some changes, I've gotten better at handling that kind of commentary.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, having opinions on anything is never easy. But I do think that, you know, between people comparing me to like who I was 3 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, it's always going to be different. But for the most part, I feel like people have sort of evolved with me. And of course, like my body changes constantly because I'm 22 and things fluctuate all the time. So, but I try not to read too much. I try to stay off that a little bit because it was not good for me in the past. So
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. You've gotten better at that. I feel like I swung so far. Like once I started getting a following when we like went public, I like didn't read the comments and I just like was like so far I would never even like look at a comment. Like I wouldn't even click to open it.
Would you get like anxiety like surrounding even like thinking about looking at it? Because that's what I get sometimes.
I sometimes get that, but I feel like I've had to do like a circle back because when we started this podcast, I was like, I never look at the comments. And our listeners would be like, Tay, I know you're never going to see this because you don't look at the comments, but I love this episode because blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, okay, there's actually like nice comments out there.
Yeah.
I've like just built this wall up for maybe not the best reason.
Yeah.
So now I've gotten
That makes sense,
a little better
though.
with
That
it.
makes sense. And I feel like you start to learn where to read and when to stop reading and
Yeah.
things like that. Because I do see what people are saying, and the good always outweighs the bad. But all it takes is seeing one thing that kind of ruins your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, you kind of, like I said, you learn how to navigate it a little bit. So like maybe not this comment section, but I can probably read this one and be safe.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But I also just like, I've had my feelings hurt a lot. It doesn't really bother me as much anymore.
Yeah.
Where's the most brutal comment section?
YouTube.
YouTube. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel like people are and TikTok. TikTok is more, okay. So in my experience, TikTok is more like, it's the girlies. And if they don't like something, it's like the snide comments that you're like, damn, I feel like I'm being bullied, you know? Like it feels like, but YouTube feels like criticism.
Yeah.
Like YouTube, it's not a couple sentences. That's a paragraph that you're reading. And it's like,
I've noticed that.
yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
And Twitter is just like you wrote a whole tweet. Like that is a post in and of itself that you dedicated to me. That hurts. That hurts.
That's funny.
Yep.
I know we don't have Twitter, so we don't.
I also
really
don't have YouTube.
Yes,
Yeah.
might be for the best.
Yeah.
To each their
just
own.
keep it that way. Last week we had Jacqueline Hill and her husband on, if you know who that is, but they're good friends of ours. But we were talking about her whole, like, we talked a lot. We actually did 2 parts, but we talked a lot about like her lipstick, her cancellation, all of this stuff, and how her world got rocked. And it was interesting to hear that like back then, like real life Jacqueline and social media Jacqueline were the same person. And then like now today she's at a place where like social media Jacqueline is different than
Its own person.
real
Yeah,
life.
because you have to sort of at some point, I don't want to say disassociate, but you do have to kind of separate the two.
Yeah.
Because it can be, I think when I was young and I was online all the time and I really, really craved that like validation. I was on all the time and I cared so much.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like an adult and you just kind of have to protect yourself at some point. And I remember being so wrapped up in everything and reading everything. And that can be really, really, it's good to separate the two because not having that separation can be so confusing because you don't know where to draw the line. You don't know where your boundaries are. And isn't that so, I always think like in real life, you would never cancel a person.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not, you might not like someone and you might say, oh, what you did was really bad, but you wouldn't like, the term cancellation I hate so much because it's like it's like a person is like diminished to like a TV program and your like mistakes are like the end of you. And I think, you know, some people do bad things and then they need to be held accountable for it. But I also feel like it was lipstick.
Yeah.
It was lipstick.
Yeah.
Like if that's, I don't know, it just kind of sucks because it feels like the internet has gotten so far away from being fun, and it's such a scary place to be sometimes. And the humanity has gotten taken out of it quite a bit. Like, it's almost like the more people want to be vulnerable and the more people crave that, the further you have to pull yourself away, because it's like, they don't want you to be perfect, but they do. I don't know. It's a tough one, but
it's such an interesting way to think about it. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, that would never happen face to face.
No, in real life, you would be like, hey, you said something shitty, like, not cool, dude.
Yeah.
Say sorry.
Or just like stop talking to them.
Yeah, or just like don't interact with them. You know. But it wouldn't be like, well, everyone hates you now.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Like, it's very.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done forever. And like I said, I think some people do really horrible things that probably like do deserve to be held accountable for. But there's such little things that people get like wrecked over.
Yeah.
And it's really sad, because you wouldn't do that to a person in real life. I don't know.
Yeah. Trying to like separate that. And it's so easy for, the internet trolls to just be, what do they call them? Keyboard
warriors.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so easy to do that.
It is, but I don't know. I think it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
When you look back at videos from 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, what's the biggest change you see in Loren from then and Loren sitting on this couch today?
I think I used to be, it depends, because like 13, 14-year-old me was very defensive.
Yeah.
Like, I responded to everything and anything, and I was like defensive to the highest degree. And then I think once I hit like 15, 16, 17, I just worked myself into the ground. Like, I would wake up and do my makeup and sit in front of my like vanity mirror lighting for hours and like drive myself crazy over things, and then wake up and do it all again. But I think now I've got a better balance. I think I've gotten better at prioritizing what's important to me and not what I feel like I need to be doing, which is good. But I think I just didn't have any balance. It was like ups and downs and ups, and I didn't know, I was like figuring it all out and getting used to that much attention, and also just like working, and the concept of it becoming work was really weird to get used to. And separating, being like, okay, this is my job now, and how much of this is personal and how much of this do I want to share, because I used to just share everything. And I would like break up with a boyfriend and like Twitter knew before he did, like like that's something that I had to sort of get under control, and just realizing that like people don't need to know everything. Like people used to know everything, and I am who I am on the internet and in real life, but they don't need to know everything that's going on.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's healthy.
Yeah.
And a good balance. What tools or resources have you found to be like most helpful when it comes to your mental health?
Oh my gosh, putting my phone away. I don't scroll as much as I used to. I feel like people send me things and keep me in the loop, like the pop culture loop, more from them seeing things and saying, I don't see things that often, which is good, because I feel like I've given myself time to find different interests and different things that I enjoy doing. Also, like making music. I started making music when I was 16, and that was really helpful because it was something that I could make something and be productive and be working on something that was not so revolved around me and the way I look and like being on the internet, because I just kind of get sick of seeing my own face and like hearing my own voice and reading stuff about me. It just gets really, really old. So I like working on something outside of myself. That's been helpful. But just being off my phone, I know that's like very cliche, but
no, it's
watching a show even, or like doing something else is very nice.
Yeah, no, it's a very good reminder, because it's so easy, especially when like your phone is your work. Mm-hmm. Like it's so easy to just,
and making that distinction has been really important, because I feel like out of all of my friends, I'm on my phone the least, 'cause I'm like, it's my job. Like I don't, because as soon as I get on my Instagram, it's all pictures of me, which I love. Like very nice people. But sometimes I'm like, man, I want to see myself again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like making that distinction, like, I'm at the car wash. People don't need to know that I'm at the car wash.
Yeah.
I'm at the store. People don't need to know that.
That's funny. Have you gone to therapy?
Yes, kind of.
Explain.
I did. I actually this year, not that long ago, and I felt like I just talked at her. Like I just talked, and she's got maybe 5 words in it, and I was like, damn, there's a lot. And I was like scratching the surface. I was like, I'm gonna really have to find the right person to really like unpack with. But I also feel like it needs to be at a time where I'm not gonna like send myself into a spiral by unpacking things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was good. It was like situational. I was like, okay, I need someone to talk to about this situation.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably should like prioritize more, but I don't.
That's us too.
I also just think like in my head, like sometimes I think I'm my own therapist. Like I'm very good at figuring myself out.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time with myself, a lot of time looking at myself, a lot of time analyzing myself. And usually I can tell where something's coming from. I'm like, oh girl,
Yeah.
you gotta stop.
I will say I feel like I have learned that about you. Like when I learned that you were 22, I was actually surprised. Like I thought I'm 27. I thought we were like the same age because of how you carry yourself. Like I feel like you're very self-aware. I was not self-aware. I still feel like I struggle with that, but I was like not like that at all at 22. So it's cool. Like I actually do. Normally I'd be like, you're not your therapist, but I actually do feel like you are very self-aware.
I just have to be, I think, how do I want to word this? I've had to be self-aware because there's been a lot of instances where I needed to understand myself so I could understand situations that I was in. And even like being at a record label, and you get a lot of opinions all the time. And if you don't know who you are and how you work and what's going on in your brain, it's very easy to believe what everyone is like telling you. Like there are a lot of people who've mistaken me for a dumb person.
Yeah.
And I feel like I needed to really look inward to be like, that's not who I am. And like, who am I? To be able to handle those kinds of situations. Otherwise, I think I would have been very like flippant and things would not have turned out the way I wanted them to. So, and I also just, there hasn't really been anyone holding my hand. Yeah. So situationally, you got to figure it out. And that creates a lot of self-awareness.
Yeah.
And shitty situations also create a lot of self-awareness.
Right.
Yeah. And situations where I've been shitty, like especially recently, I've been thinking, I'm like, man, there's been a lot of times where I've been really wrong. Yeah. And just like not really hurt anyone, but just I was like, man, I couldn't have been more wrong. And that's important too. So
for sure.
I don't know.
For sure. No, I agree with that. Speaking of shitty situations.
That was good.
Oh, wow.
That was good.
Thank you. You have a new movie out.
I do. Yes.
Literally, I'm going to be talking about this for a month.
Well done.
Pulled that
well
one.
done.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Your new movie, Incoming, is on Netflix. It's out now. What is it about? Tell us. I want to hear.
So it's like a coming of age comedy movie. It's about 4 freshman boys, and they're going to this party. 2 of them get in, 2 of them don't, and they kind of have their own separate little adventures. And they come into their own in their own different ways. I play Katrina, who is like the popular it girl, whatever. And she embarrasses herself. Yeah, gets herself in quite the shitty situation. I shit myself, guys. I shit myself in the movie.
Oh, you shit yourself?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I shit myself in the movie.
Oh, so were you like actually covered in it?
Yes.
Oh.
Very much so. Not real shit. It was.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. It was peanut butter. I think it was crunchy.
Not smooth.
Not smooth.
I did.
Applesauce and some kind of oil. And then halfway through the movie, they switched to sunflower oil. Discovered I was allergic to sunflower oil. So yeah, none of that for me. Got hives and all that. It was great. But yeah,
Crunchy.
it was crunchy. Yeah, for sure it was.
Can we title this episode "Crunchy Peanut Butter," please?
Crunchy peanut. It's true. But yeah, I was rolling in it and
So it was edible.
sure. I wasn't like, like it was, that wasn't happening.
But you tried it.
I mean, it's bound to get, I was everywhere. It's bound to get in my mouth at some point. It wasn't bad.
Oh my gosh,
It's bad.
that is.
It was in my hair. Oh, everywhere. Everywhere.
Oh gosh, what was your? Is this the first
Yeah.
movie, TV thing you've been a part of? How was your the experience filming that whole process, doing that for the first time?
It was great. I mean, I've had a lot of opportunities presented to me over the years. And so before I started social media, my mom used to take me up to New York every Tuesday to do acting classes because I loved it.
Oh, wow.
And that was before I did any of this.
Yeah.
So I was always interested in it, but I hadn't really found the right thing. And I felt like if I was going to do something, I wanted it to be because someone thought that I was good at acting and not because I could bring viewers to their movie. So I had a few opportunities that I ended up being like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. But when I read the script, I was like, I loved it because it was taking what people would expect from me and making it something unexpected. And I auditioned so many times.
Really?
I did self-tape after self-tape with different acting coaches. I did probably 6 or 7 of those. And then I went in person a couple times.
Wow.
So with the directors. So it was very intense. And I was really, really trying because I loved the movie. I loved the script. And I thought it would be a really good place to start.
Yeah.
And I will say I feel like I was pretty spoiled because they were very collaborative and helpful and believed in me a lot, which, they didn't have to. So that was really nice. And I feel like now, I don't know, it was a great place to start.
Yeah. Are you wanting to do more?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had such a good time. And it's nice to be a part of someone else's project.
Yeah.
I love being able to play in someone else's thing instead of being the person that's coming up with it all the time. It's nice to be like, okay, let's put it in someone else's hands and do their thing.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Well, we're so excited to watch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go check it out right now on
Yeah,
Netflix.
covered in poop, dude.
She's
It's
there.
awesome.
Covered in poop, dude.
In the
Crunchy.
Crunchy. It was too. There
Crunchy
was a couple times I had to do a slow motion fall into the poop because we're in a car and I just slow motion fall into the poop and I did it 50 times, just throwing myself into this pile of poop. And I was like, you know what? This is my job. This is what, and if you told me when I was 12 that's what I would be getting paid to do, I don't know what I would have. I'd be like, I guess that tracks probably.
Gets it tracks.
It lines up. Oh my gosh. Was that your favorite or not favorite scene to film, or what was there something that you loved doing or something that you were scared to do?
The poop, it did get a little old after a while. The first couple times you're covered in poop, you're like, oh, this is funny, this is funky, this is weird. And then, day 14 of being covered in poop and they're trying to make sure it's in the right spots and it's in your hair. And you're just
continuity with the poop.
Yeah, and you can't really sit down when you're covered in poop. So just standing there waiting for your turn. Or that was it wasn't not fun, but it wasn't comfortable. But I also knew very much that was what I was signing up for. They asked a million times, are you sure you're good with this? Are you sure? And I was like, yeah, of course. And there I was standing on the side of the road covered in poop. The party scenes were fun because I haven't been to a high school party. So,
Party scenes are fun.
They're not like that. They're not like that from what I've been told, but it was fun to watch. And just to work with really talented kids. They're really funny because the boys were 14, 15, 16 when we were shooting, and they were really funny, which was cool because I only got to see 2 of the boys. I kind of shot with them the whole time.
Okay.
But they were really funny, so that was nice. I don't know. I don't really have any complaints. It was really fun all the way around.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yes.
To many more.
To many more.
Oh, yeah.
Shall we do our last little segment?
Let's do
Love
it.
Okay. This is called Lemon 7. Just 7 questions. You can rapid fire. You can go into a monologue if you feel whatever
Perfect.
is on your heart. You just go. Go with it.
Okay.
All right. Number 1. What movie or song title best describes your mental health today?
Oh boy. I'm so tired. I think it's by Lauv.
Oh,
that
yes.
one. Yeah, I'm so
Yes.
tired. I am. I want to I can't sleep for longer than 6 hours, and I wish I
Really?
could. Yeah, I wake up.
Have you tried the Lemmy sleep gummies?
No,
Okay.
I've tried other gummies.
I am the same as you. I'm like, I just wake up. I don't know what's going on, but these gummies do something to you.
Okay.
I have one. The dose is 2.
Yeah, you're supposed to take 2. It's just magnesium and melatonin. But I can't take too much melatonin because it gives me freaking weird dreams.
But these,
it's a smaller dose melatonin,
I
more
have-
magnesium.
I have 3/4 of one. I had one last night. Knocks me out.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm
They
deceased.
really do
We have
wonders
to-
for both of
We
us.
have some downstairs. We need to get
We'll
some.
send you off with some.
I don't know. They literally.
I wake up at I fall
asleep.
asleep at 10. I wake up at 1:30. Then I'll wake up at 4. Then I'll wake up and it's
Yeah.
a never ending cycle.
Yeah.
But I do have very weird dreams, and I think that adds to it. I had a dream last night of just going through all these different rooms and all these different it's like a horror movie when I sleep, and then I wake up and I feel gross and weird, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what was that?
Do you ever have the dreams where your teeth are falling out?
Yes, I've had every dream that I've had of that. I'm walking up the stairs and I fall and my teeth hit the stairs.
What?
Oh wow.
I've had so many of those, and then it's always my front teeth, or I have loose teeth in the dream, and
Yeah.
I know it's coming out, but I'm trying to
Yeah.
stick it back in. You know?
Yeah, I have that.
What
too.
is this supposed to? What's that supposed to mean again?
It's like you're stressed or anxious about something.
Interesting.
There's
like
a
a
lot
very-
of different meanings for things.
Yeah.
I've had so many weird ones. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah. My Nana reads dreams, and she I would always text her if I have a reoccurring thing. I'm
She
like,
would
"What
tell
is-"
her exactly what it means.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I have so
Yeah.
many weird reoccurring dreams, especially when I'm home in Pennsylvania. That's when the weird ones jump out.
I'll
But
give you my Nana's number. You can text her.
perfect.
Number 2 is how open are you with people in your life when struggling?
Not really at all, honestly. I'm trying to get better at that, but I feel like I don't even know when I'm struggling,
Yeah.
because I'm a very go person, and
Yeah.
it's not until I'm done and everything's still that I'm like,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a little sad.
Yeah, I always feel like we see it in each other before the
Before,
other person
yeah.
notices.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
All right, number 3. Can you tilt that a little?
So
bit,
sorry.
Tommy?
You read these questions how many times?
This is episode 150 and I still don't know
You
them.
need you a teleprompter.
I know.
Okay, if you could only follow, and I know you're, trying not to scroll too much, but if you could only follow 3 social media accounts, what would they be?
OMG, let me think. Okay. I don't know, because I like the meme pages. I like the swipe slideshow
Those are allowed.
carousel meme pages. I don't have any off the top, but I would
Yeah.
want
One of those.
like one of those.
Okay.
What else do I use Instagram for?
It could be across platforms.
Cross platforms.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably one of my friends. Can I do that? Just so I know what
Absolutely.
one of them is up to at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds important.
Who's the most important one? Let me think about my favorite friend.
We'll bleep it.
One of them, I don't know. And then, probably trying to think of people I listen to or things. Oh, there's a guy on TikTok that does wildlife in the Florida Everglades. He'll he goes in the Florida Everglades and he catches different critters.
Really?
And he'll be he'll grab a frog and he'll be this is very venomous. And then he'll just be holding it.
This sounds like you.
The Florida Everglades guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you're getting a very good picture of who I am from this very short time that we've known each other.
Sorry, what's an Everglade? Is that a place or is that a land?
It's
or?
they're kind of, oh my God, Florida people do not attack me. I'm just a girl. Swamplands, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Swampy.
I think.
Yeah, those are when you go on the boats, and you look for
Yeah.
crocodiles and stuff. Those are
Yes.
and there's the
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I've-
Yeah, it's just like dirty water.
Yeah.
Dirty water.
Florida people, do not come at me.
I don't know. I know what it's
Just
called.
a girl. Just a girl.
I'm just trying to make it through.
Oh, that's good. Love those. Love that for you. Number 4 is, what is your favorite form of self-care?
Ooh. What's an acceptable answer here? Honestly, sleeping. When I can actually like try to like a good nap.
We love a nap.
Oh.
The naps where you're just so tired you don't remember falling asleep. You wake up, it's like 2 hours later. You're like, what time is it?
Yeah.
That's self-care to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm too lazy to do like a facial, you know? I don't have the patience to be like skincare routine.
Yeah.
When I go to bed at night, it's like when the makeup has to come off, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
I usually just try to do it all in the shower. I'll bring like my pills in the shower with me.
Yeah.
Everything's there because by the time I get out,
You're just wanting to
I'm
crash.
done. Or I'll do it at the gym. I'll like do my whole nighttime routine at the gym. And then when I
Wow.
get home, I just
Wow.
right into bed. Yeah.
Jim straight into bed.
I mean, efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
impressive.
it. You see how many girlies are in that locker room though, getting ready for bed, or in the morning they're
Really?
getting ready for like their day. Yeah, and they kick it. I'm like, how do y'all know each other? They all know each other in there.
Wow.
They're like, how is Bryson's soccer practice? I'm like, girl, we are like in the Equinox locker room. Me walking through with like all of my bathroom products to like shower for the night. Hey girls, like
People are probably going to think you like don't have a shower.
oh, I know. I have a couple of those. I prefer the one at the gym, honestly. I do it. The water pressure is better.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
warmer. It smells better. There's music. I don't have to facilitate any of that.
Yeah.
If I do that at home, I gotta like, light
Yeah.
a candle and play some too much work.
Yeah.
Do it at the gym.
I feel that. We love a good water pressure.
We love great water pressure. Yeah. All right. Number 5. What would you say is the most misunderstood thing about you?
Gosh. I don't actually know. I think people probably assume I'm like not that smart.
Well, yeah. I mean, you said that earlier, which seems like it can't be further from the truth. Like you are so like sharp and thoughtful and impressive.
Thank you. I
yeah.
try. I mean, I feel like that's unfortunately. People also assume that I'm not nice, which I hate because I'm like, man, is it the eyeliner? Is that what's doing it? Like,
That
are you
wing?
kidding me? I was bullied in school, guys. I am afraid of you. Like I'm not gonna be mean. There's people have come up to me. They're like, "You're so much nicer than I thought you were gonna be." I'm like, my heart was racing when I saw you looking at me from across the room. Like I was scared of you. So that's another thing. But I think people just think I'm probably not that smart. Which, guys, I'm in college and I have a 4.0. So it is community college, but I have a 4.0 and I'm clinging to that. So.
Community college is the best thing ever.
Right?
I'm like full
She's
like
a community college.
I went to community college. I got my nursing degree there, like full
Right?
on license. It's like truly the smartest thing I ever did because I got to just focus on nursing, and I'm not in
and you're
debt.
not $200,000.
Yeah,
in
and
debt.
that's that part
Yep.
because I was like, I wanna go to school because I like learning and I like having structure. So I like having something that I can do I know that my brain is working on something other than me. But I was like, I graduated from homeschool, so I'm like, I don't know how that's going to go over with the colleges.
Yeah.
So in community college, my friend was already going to the same college, so she helped me set it up and everything. And I'm getting a degree for transfer, so I can transfer to it. But I don't know. I really do love community college. Like,
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know. I think it's the same thing. Kinda.
Yeah.
You're just having a different experience.
Yeah.
And like, I think college would have ate me up.
Yeah.
Right.
If I went to college, have y'all seen Bama Rush?
Oh my gosh. On TikTok.
Bama Rush would have swallowed me whole.
Yeah.
I would have, I don't know if I would have made it out.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I was
So
like,
have you
what is
seen-
Bama Rush?
It's like, oh my God. It's like when all the
Alabama
sorority
Rush.
girls, like,
over there.
Those girls are gonna go.
I thought it was one word. I'm like,
Bama girls.
What's
all the
Bama
like
Rush?
sorority girls, they
It
do
gives me
like,
anxiety. I'm like, how? I went to actual college for a semester. I was a dance major because my parents didn't go to college. I didn't know what the frick I was doing. Dance. I was like, I'm gonna do this, but I was very overwhelmed by sorority. I was like, I can't I can't do this. And when I watch the TikToks, they're impressive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
What is going on?
They do all these dances and these things, and then
And they're all perfect and gorgeous, and they roll tide, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh wait, are these those videos of the girls where they go, I'm Ashley May and I'm going to bam, bam, bam.
yeah.
That's alpha, beta,
Yeah.
trifecta. That's them. And
that
they
one?
would have chewed my ass up and spit me on the ground. I swear. I would have been like, you girls got this.
Yeah.
Either
I'll watch
that
from
or
over here.
either that or I would have like needed to be in charge.
Yeah.
I would have been like, all right, ladies, here's the plan. But I don't know if
I'm literally the same. Literally the same.
there's no in between.
Yeah,
It's
no.
either I'm fully out of it or I'm like I'm in charge.
Yeah.
I'm running the shit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have to show you some of these. They're
I
like
can't wait. Bama
they're,
Rush.
they're impressive and terrifying, but in the best way.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. No, go blue. They're
you.
different things though, right?
What?
They're different. They're in different things though.
Michigan is blue. Oh,
No.
different like divisions?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
they're
they're
different
the
divisions.
So both can coexist.
Yeah. Okay, great.
You can roll tide and go blue all day long.
We took Bama out to go to the national championship, so they're not happy with us right now.
Oh,
Who's us? Michigan?
Yeah.
Nice. I had an ex-boyfriend who went there. I went to one of the games. It was great.
You went to the big house?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
It was fun. It was fun. I had a hot dog. I was real drunk. I was real drunk, but it was
Hot dog.
fun.
I love hot dog. Number 6 is who's had the most positive impact on your mental health?
Probably my parents. I don't know. I feel like every time I go home and I come back here, I feel like, okay, I remember what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like they always put things in a perspective of like, girl, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And that's always nice. So I would say them.
Nice.
I love that.
All right, number 7, last. If you could go back to one moment in your life, what moment would that be, and what would you say to yourself?
Whoa. Like what a loaded question, guys. So like I have serious memory loss. So I can only remember like the past couple of months. People have tried to ask me questions about like I know my life because I've told the story so many times, but like when I actually try to think in moments, I'm like, what was I?
I have the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just so much has happened. I feel like kind of what we were talking about earlier. I wish I could go back to school and just feel like, ugh, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, because I took that stuff so serious, and I almost let that, because I almost didn't do social media because I didn't want to be the person that people were making fun of. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I wish I could be like, oh, it's not that serious, and your life is going to be really cool and great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
I love that.
Thanks.
I have loved this time together.
Thank
Truly,
you.
this has
Yay.
been so fun. You are just like, I was already impressed learning about you, but I feel like I'm more impressed just like
Thank you.
hearing you and like hearing your perspective on life and just like what you've been through and like where you are today. It's really
appreciate it.
inspiring.
And you captured a spider for us.
Yeah.
I did do
That was a
that.
good start.
It was just a little baby. It's dead now.
I was going to leave that part out.
It was just a little baby. It's dead. I couldn't help it. It's like the
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's the Pennsylvania
I wasn't
in
it's
you.
the
gonna touch that
Pennsylvania.
thing.
in me.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Everyone go check out Lauren's new movie incoming on Netflix. She's out now.
She's out now.
Thank you.
Enjoy the poop.
Crunchy.